What's up, y'all? Kofi Kingston here, and I would love to have a drink with Wrestling on the Rocks, depending on what that drink is, preferably non-alcoholic, you know?
How's it going? Celtic Warrior Shane.
Soda.
I would love to have a drink with Wrestling on the Rocks.
Maple syrup.
Fella.
I would never have a drink with Wrestling on the Rocks.
Hey yo, and welcome to the dive bar of the IWC Wrestling on the Rocks. I am at Ref Marsh. We are at WOTR, the show. With me today for our Thursday night chaser as we drink away our Wednesday and Tuesday's wrestling. We got Miss Amanda Jane.
Top of the morning to ya. I'm trying to be Irish. Oi.
I got my
Or whatever.
Naomi. I got my Naomi glow glasses on.
That's what those are.
Yeah.
Woohoo. Yeah. I have nothing green but blue-green hair. Because, you know, I am not Irish. But you know what?
I've heard that.
We're all Irish, I guess, on St. Patrick's Day.
On this show.
Oh.
Well, on this show. Well, that's every Thursday and Wednesday. So, I don't know.
Good point.
Yeah. Yeah.
And with us this week yet again, we got producer lady.
Hey everyone.
We're clumpless again.
We are clumpless.
Yeah, we are not a full litter box. We have no clump.
Nope.
Yeah.
I mean, good news is he's out of the hospital.
Yeah.
Yay!
I don't want to give out all of his info and stuff, but he's been dealing with a bad infection, and he's out. He's still undergoing treatment, but he can do it from home, so he's like more comfortable, obviously being in his home surroundings.
Yeah.
But texting him today, he was not feeling great or up to it as far as visitors or even setting up the computer. He's taking it as easy as he can take it, which is great. Which means it's only gonna be a matter of time before we got Clump back. And cheers to Clump.
Yep. Cheers.
Cheers.
We already got some folks in the chat.
Okay, say something about
We
it.
got Just in Time saying cheers, dive bar friends, and then we got Splinter Fox with a bunch of emojis.
Looks like
Ooh. What kind of emojis?
It's,
looks like chopped chest or something.
yeah, so the chest thing going on. I don't really get it, but
It's weird.
Oh.
It's uncomfortable.
so what's in everyone's glass?
Yeah, what you guys drinking?
I've got my Screwball peanut butter whiskey.
Mmm. Yum.
Yep.
You know, we got sponsored, but not sponsored. But I actually am not drinking alcohol today because I am not at home. So, but I have sponsored, not sponsored. So I have two. I have cranberry and I have cherry, not together.
Oh.
Yes.
Well, I'm gonna have a little bit of gin and Zoa and see how that goes. In honor of Clump, though, I am using my Bad Dragon glass. Sponsored, not sponsored. BadDragon.com. Check it out.
Oh my
There
god.
you go. Yes.
It'll change your life
You
one
want
way
a
or another.
Don't.
One way or
say
another, going to
that.
that website will change your life.
Not everyone is interested in that, babe.
Yeah, well,
They might
but if
be.
you're not interested in it, discovering it is going to change your outlook on stuff.
All right.
Well, if you say so. But you know what?
Yeah.
Hey, if you know someone who wants to sponsor us,
Yeah, we're always up for
Mr.
our
Marsh.
sponsorships.
Yeah, we're always up for that.
Yeah.
So happy St. Patrick's Day,
If you
everyone.
go to newwave.co, NOOWAVE.co, and put in promo code CHEERS, it's like being sponsored. They're good guys. They're good guys. Flow State Coffee, specialty grade coffee. Just saying, check them out.
Yep.
All right, so happy 317 day. It's the day of Aaliyah.
It is.
Her world record over Natalya, beat Natalya in 3.17 seconds on
Wow.
SmackDown. Congratulations to Aaliyah and having a day dedicated to you, much the same as Stone Cold's 316 day.
Right.
It's all good. It's good stuff.
Yeah, and there's good birthdays today too. So,
Get it.
speaking of which, happy birthday to Brody King
Ooh.
from Van Nuys. Yep, Brody King. I said who? I'm like, oh my god, you really don't watch AEW.
I didn't say who. I said woo, I think.
I thought you said who. I'm like,
No,
I
no,
don't
no,
know
no.
who Brody King. Oh god. I'm like, why am I on this?
We got
show?
Brody King.
No. Okay, we've got Brody King. We also have today Cash Wheeler. So a lot of AEW folk today.
Nice.
Yes. And then two of some of our favorite people. Toothless Timmy Thatcher. Happy birthday, dude. Yes, and Samoa Joe. So, happy birthday, you guys. Joe. And then also, just for, coming up this week, EC3. If there's some weirdos that have. There's some weirdos that have.
Billy Corgan's was today, too.
Yep.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
Well, happy birthday, Mr. NWA. So,
yeah.
Woohoo!
Natty shouted him out. He's actually always been a wrestling fan and really supported Natty back in the day. So pretty cool.
Yeah,
he didn't buy NWA on accident.
Nope.
Dude's in it.
Nope. Mike Quackenbush. His birthday's tomorrow, and then guess who else's birthday? And I hope there's a lot of snow involved.
It's Sting!
We were just talking about the picture that Marsh took with Sting when he met him.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're both doing that pose, and he actually paused and said, "No one's ever asked me to do that."
Yeah.
Really?
I was all like, "Can we do one where we scream, do the woo?" And he was all like, "What?" And I was like, And he's like,
"Yeah."
And he's looking, he's all like, "Yeah, sure." He goes, "No one's ever asked me to do that before." And I was like, "Let's do it." We both went woo, and then the picture came out, and it was cool. And,
well, people are.
Well, I think because when he has the face paint on, you want that clear image of his face paint, and with his head tilted back, maybe people go, "Oh, maybe it's not." You know what I mean?
Yeah,
there really is a picture where I'm starting. There's two of them. I found them in my phone and looking at them. There's one where I'm going like this, and he's looking dead in the camera, kind of like he doesn't know what's happening yet. And I was like, and he's like, "What's happening?" And then the second one, we're both doing the thing. So I got proof it's him. But I can understand people saying, "Hey, face paint's in place. I want that dead-on face paint look." And I was like, no, let's yell. Wow!
I like that you hyped him up enough to be like, okay.
Yeah. Yeah, he was like, "Yeah, let's do it." And then he was chewing gum, so he had to move his gum around. I remember that. Because he started to do it, and then his gum almost fell out. And he goes, "Oh, hold on. It was fine. It was good."
You got some more chat happening.
Yeah.
Splinter Fox saying WWE fanboy, don't know anything about WWE. Flip Gordon joins a CYR. And
Next time about CYN, Flip Gordon joined it finally.
Oh, okay.
I believe.
He's been a part of it for a while.
Yeah, I thought so. Yeah.
And Grim Reaper coming in the chat saying hi.
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 Also said Marsha's highlight glasses look amazing.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, dude. Hell yeah.
You know what, Marsh? Now people are going to be wanting that Sting photo because no one's ever had it before, just you.
Just me. I got one.
Yeah. So now people are all going to want that.
Splinter Fox calling us the Carney Club.
I don't know what for. I mean, he's the one who watches the Carney
I know.
show.
That's why it's funny to me.
It is why it's funny.
Yeah.
I like when people call him Tony Khan. That one makes me laugh.
I was thinking
That's
for a
good one.
sec. We were talking about Billy Corgan. Can you imagine if he had Tony Khan's money? Like, that amount of money?
Oh my God. Okay.
I feel like he would have so many more things going on, like, wrestling-wise.
He'd have the weirdest wrestling federation. It'd be weird.
That's what I mean.
No,
I wonder how it would look if he had $1 billion, because I do feel like it would be really weird, and I feel like the NWA was a nice bubble for him to live in. But I wonder if he had that kind of money, what would it look like? Because I don't think that it's purely financial that he has it the way that he has it.
You don't think it'd be on national TV?
I don't think that's what's keeping him from national TV.
Oh, okay.
I don't think it's the money that's stopping him. I think that it's him that's stopping it. To be honest, I think that I think he was being pitched TV networks before AEW even came around. I think a lot of it comes down to his lack of want to give up any form of control based off of other interviews I've heard. And I think that when you're on a network, the network can say things. So much so is theoretically, I was reading a thing about it this week as far as news goes with TV stations. So fantastic segue there on purpose, I'm sure. One of the reasons the Briscoe brothers have not been signed to AEW and are not on is because supposedly there is a TV exec over at TBS that does not want the Briscoe brothers on their TV because of those tweets that the one Briscoe brother tweeted out a couple years back that he apologized for once before and is continuing to apologize for. And he's talked about growing and being a different person now than he was then. And fuck, I don't know, man. I'm really a bystander watching, but it seems like he's tried to apologize. And they were denied a spot at WWE because of those tweets at one point. So I feel like they've also been punished and get it, and he hasn't done anything since then. But apparently the TV execs are saying we don't want the Briscoe brothers, which is why they aren't there. So another way that the TVs can control your product, one of the types of things that Billy doesn't want.
So they control your narrative.
They control their narrative.
Oh.
People make fun of that. And people make fun of that, so whatever. But I have my thoughts on this.
Go ahead. Let's hear it.
Well, because they were saying that again. I think Jay apologized again the other day and had this big statement or whatnot. And I was just looking on Twitter, because I'm curious because, the same people who, are all about the, the stupid, speaking out movement and whatnot, of course, are the same people who jump to say, oh my God, this guy's a racist. This guy's, a homophobe. They're all the same people. But what was interesting was I was looking at a lot of the tweets, and a lot of people were like, for the betterment, I guess, of the sport or entertainment, if you want to say it that way, we can forgive that because he's apologizing. But, obviously if it happens again. Now, I have a problem with that because these are the same people. And I'm like, I know your screen names. I've seen them. I've seen the harassment you've given me. I don't get it. You can't play one side of the fence. You're like, okay, we can forgive this person. But yet other people, you can't. I mean, there's obvious people that, no, keep them away. But then there's others. We all know who I'm talking about. I don't need to name names. I don't get it. But that's just my 2 cents.
Yeah, it's a dicey atmosphere. I do think that wrestling is interesting in how much that the internet on both sides believes they control, that the Twitter believes they are in control of, and the amount of control that businesses are willing to give to Twitter as well. I've said it before, I believe on episode 1, I think the AEW listens too much to the Twitter universe, and I think WWE doesn't listen enough to the Twitter universe, because I do think that there is a reasonable amount of criticism you can gather from that pool of fans, and I think that one leans real heavy and one doesn't seem to pay attention at all. And I guess when you try to look at percentages at the same time, like if it takes 1,000 tweets to trend and you go, oh, look it, this is trending, therefore this is what people want, but then you get your statistics in, your readings in, this is our ratings, this is our engagement online, and you're seeing millions of engagement, like millions is the number, then you go, okay, well, is 1,000 really worth listening to? Well, it's hard to argue that it's worth listening to when you're talking about 1% of your population of viewers.
It depends on what kind of audience they want, right?
Depends on the audience they want.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's interesting.
Yeah. But so again, AEW has, I think Tony's always pandered to certain people. And it's really evident, I think, now when the Joey Janela, Denise Salcedo, I have my issues with that interview, but not with Joey, but when we have people, like that, and kind of what is happening or happened to Joey, that you're like.
So I didn't hear the interview. I saw the little snippet, or the headline, I should say, where Janela states that he won't be re-signing with AEW. No. You listened to the interview. I opted not to. And without critiquing the interview in and of itself, the content of the interview is where I think we should probably focus. What was it that he talked about? Why is it he's not re-signing? What's going on?
Well,
and all credit to Denise Salcedo in her interview. I know she gets very sensitive about that. We saw that online. However,
whatever.
All credit to Denise Salcedo in her interview. But this is what was in there, and let's talk about it.
We'll credit you, but girlfriend, I know you're sensitive, but if you're that sensitive, here's a tip for you. the word like you used in a 1 minute span at least 37 times.
Yeah.
There's a lot of interviewers that I think should take a little bit more public speaking classes that help you with those things, those ums, the uhs, the whats, the like. She's not the only one who does it in that atmosphere.
We had to watch ourselves just to make sure, because there are things that we say. Yeah. You know, everyone's got a little something that they
for sure say. And I do try to be cognizant about the I try not to. It happens. I'm fully aware every time it happens because it bothers me, so I know we try to keep it in check. But at the same time, what I am saying is she is not alone in that critique in that world. I do think a lot of the people who are doing these interviews for wrestlers and these journalists and news sites, they could stand to work on that as well. You know what I mean? Like it's just one of those things it'll
absolutely. And we know when I fangirl, I can't control that. I can't control when I fangirl. And I can't. And the other one I can't control is when I talk about bow tie. But anyway, I'm not getting into that.
A little bit of man butt.
But man butt. Amanda butt. Yeah.
Amanda butt.
Yeah. So it was really interesting.
What was the stuff?
Yeah. I think the basic things really to pull from this one were if you had asked him, like, even up to 6 months ago, and even at the beginning of this year, he said he would have resigned. But now, no, not at all. He really was guarded about it. There were some things that came out
Did he say whether or not it was him refusing to resign or them not engaging in that rollover? Because we've heard that those two separate stories coming out of AEW, that some people, Swole was not offered a renewal contract, whereas Peter Avalon I was also not offered one. But there was some, and then obviously Cody did not re-sign but was offered a contract. So there seems to be two camps: people who are getting the offer and people who are refusing the offer, and then people who are letting it roll over. Did he get offered one that he's refusing to sign?
No, that was not mentioned at all. Okay. And that's one thing where, Denise, you kind of failed on that one. And where I believe, she didn't really dig in. I mean, I don't even really think she knows who she was talking to, but that's just my opinion.
Well, there's that, but there's also, in her defense, she is, there's something to be said for being a safe interview. And I do think that you can get a lot more people by playing nice and not asking really grilling questions, but allowing the interviewee to navigate that conversation and not dig in too much. I think we have a lot of interviewers who are playing that safe, but I can see where you say I want to dig in deeper. There's not a whole lot of them that are grilling that get that level. You know what I mean? Like the Van Villers are a safe interview.
Yeah, I think I'll be honest. I think I can get it, and I think we are actually we're gonna get one. So to be determined. I think we are getting one. So
that'd be cool.
Splinter Fox is saying no. We are the Fanboy Club. And yeah, we know Amanda, and Grim Reaper is saying, so you don't want any likes?
Yeah, no likes. We are likeless.
Well, we like likes and subscribes and thumbs ups and
the bell.
Yeah,
the bell,
but not not this. Like, oh my God, like Joey. So
Okay.
Yeah, no, we don't want that. No.
Okay.
Yeah, and then Splinter Fox does say AEW's fucked. If I was Joey, I would not tell anyone that they should go to AEW. Half of their talent, their young talent, was from Joey. Joey didn't even get a fucking action figure. Yeah, I think Joey ended up in a weird spot. But go ahead. So continue, because I wanted to ask if you'd mentioned that thing. Go on.
Well, he'd obviously mentioned, thought he wasn't going to get an action figure. He also did say, it's like nobody really communicates with him, and that's the biggest problem is there's a lack of communication. They need more talent relations people. So this is the gist that I got. The one phrase that it should have gone a little deeper because I had questions about it. He said, there's nothing more than what Christopher Daniels, he would totally want him to, boot him out of there, get him out of there. So you're gone. I don't know what happened. Get rid of
Christopher Daniels?
No, Christopher Daniels wanted to get rid of Joey. Excuse me. I worded that wrong. I'm like, interesting. Now, I don't think, and then the other thing, he was talking about, him and Sonny Kiss. He said that was a great, thing they did when he went to Orlando and did Dark Elevation, or if it was on Dark. And he said, had I known all of this stuff was going to happen and I was never going to come back to do anything, then I would have totally done something. Sonny and I would have done something together.
Something big.
To really give that push to Sonny. And he did remark that he did book and agent all of the stuff that him and Sonny did. So that was really interesting to know that he did have that creative control. But there was obviously somebody was holding something back. So that's where I'm like, well, is it a process? And he also, which another thing that I thought was very interesting was, when it all first started, he'd been there 3 years, and, he's like, Tony was my friend. And it was very interesting to see that. Yeah, you can see how when people come or whatever, he's all, oh, friend, this is like my best friend now. Oh my God. Yeah. Then they kind of fall to the wayside, because look at Cody, because obviously something happened to that relationship, because there is no way I would think that, but interesting to say. So it was really interesting to hear that. And then, not only that, but, he brought up Marco got the same thing, everyone just stopped talking to these guys. Wow. And it's kind of a shame, That's really weird, so so that's really the gist of it. But there are some things that I know that he probably wanted to say but didn't. But I think that now he's at peace with where he's at. He's like, I'm at the best shape of my life right now. I learned a lot. They've actually, I can make just as much money on the indies than I made at AEW. So that's not an issue. He says any of these guys.
That's also kind of a telling thing too. If the idea of getting on national, getting the big contract means that you don't have to worry like you did before, is that a testament to how fantastic the indies are doing, or is it an expose on how low the national TV circulation of AEW is paying out some of their lesser than top talent? You know what I mean? Like,
that's a good point.
Is it an indictment or a celebration? I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm dumb.
But he did mention the fact that was one thing that made him nervous, was if he didn't resign, would he be able to thrive? But I think that in the last couple of months, doing more indies answered that question for him. So that's good to know. And even with Joey, he said, he liked working with people like Daniel Garcia. He mentioned him in name, but we all know, most of us who do know and follow him or whatever, GCW, that he's discovered a lot of talent. And I think that AEW, Tony Khan, and all of those people really don't give him the credit he deserves. And I think they did him wrong. But, again, that's my opinion. But definitely, it was a very interesting listen too. I think that there is a little bit more that he probably want to say, but I get it. You got to be, play nice in the sandbox. I get it. Mm-hmm. But, tis what it is. But so that's pretty much the gist of it without, listening to it.
Okay. All right. Now, if you guys want to listen to the rest of it, it is on Denise Salcedo's YouTube. All credit to Denise Salcedo and her interviews. It was just funny. Someone tweeted out. They just made a simple tweet that just said, Joey Janela is not re-signing with AEW. And she found it and made a comment and said, oh, why don't you cite your sources and links our YouTube and stuff. And I was like, I didn't get the impression. Like, the person who it was just a fan. Yeah. It wasn't even the dude who had his own podcast. Like, if we tweeted out, I could see where someone would go, oh, look at Wrestling on the Rocks is trying to make it look like. No, it was just someone who just goes on there and talks about wrestling that he likes. He made a comment because he saw the headline as well and goes, oh, wow, this is happening. Yeah. And then she took a personal, she got upset about it.
Yeah, I don't even think he hashtagged anything.
He didn't hashtag anything at all.
It was just his vanity searching. Yeah, to his little circle.
Or it came across her feed because they have similar followers or something, and it came across, and she goes, "Oh, look at this person's taking my headline." But like, no, it's like, everybody calm down, everybody relax. He didn't steal a bunch of your views. He's not taking your thing. He's not trying to get the money.
He's not taking money.
Yeah.
Like,
No.
But in fairness, for us to talk about it, I feel like a platform like us, big or small, should rightfully cite sources, and most of the time I do talk about where I hear from different podcasts. So, but in that regard, though, I do think she was a little sensitive there and didn't need to be.
Yeah, we don't need to retweet.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I like to retweet and put "you heard it here first," like I'm breaking the news. It's one of my favorites.
Yeah, we do that. We do that. And there's been a lot of things that we did break, and a lot of things that we need to have creative credit for, and royalties are due.
That's a good point.
I'm talking to you, Tony.
Royalties.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Royalties. Yeah.
Splinter Fox does say, if you're not the comments favorite, you don't get any attention. Comment has this changes flavor of the month. Yeah, he goes, yes, it's a shame you threw them to a curb. That was your starting roster, and you're going to do them like that. It's a shame. Yeah. The first wave of talent they signed, a lot of them are not re-signing on this 3-year, and I think that's not good because the reason they were the first of the rosters was to make a bold statement that this is the type of company we are. We're going to give a platform this large to this type of talent. Mm-hmm. And 3 years in, they're like, nah, I think we just want to go to do what everyone else was doing before. Like, it's just, it's a bit of a bummer for sure. He goes, it's a shame. Punk, Brian, Mox, all the big players come in and Conman does them dirty. Yeah. I didn't watch that YouTube video. She seems like a jerk. Sorry. Not sorry. I think she was sensitive about it because I think it was a big interview for her. But yeah.
Well, she vanity searches, obviously, because if she wasn't tagged or there wasn't a hashtag. But did she get all upset when, like, Fightful used that as a tagline or any of these other people?
I thought she worked for Fightful, but I know what you mean, yeah.
I don't know, but,
as long as they credit her, I'm sure it's just fine.
I don't know, whatever.
But
you can steal my headlines, that's okay. I don't care. But you know what? Just know, most people would probably know where it came from. So
that's true.
I know. And I just take it. I just take it as, hey, you know what? You're stealing from some of the best. So good on you.
And then she's got a good platform. She's on her way. She's doing good things. She was doing announcing for GCW. She's doing good stuff. Yeah. So yeah. Well on her way doing
well, I
good.
don't think she'll be.
I don't think she needs to be that sensitive is all I'm saying. She's doing very well. She's doing good. She's doing good work as far as that goes. She doesn't need to be worried about a single tweet here and there. You're doing fine. You're doing fine. Don't worry about it. Don't stress about something meaningless like that. But I don't have anything else on that interview other than unless you had anything on it. It would be interesting to get to dig in a little deeper with a guy like Joey. I'll be honest. I've been really impressed with what he's been doing lately.
Yep. I don't have it concrete yet, but once it's concrete, I will let y'all know. Mm-hmm. And it'll be a BFD. Big fucking deal. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you better trademark that before Jericho does.
Oh no, that's actually BFD. Carl Fredericks from New Japan Pro Wrestling. He is the BFD. He's been the BFD for as long as I can. I've watched Carl.
Jericho's going to trademark it and turn it into something.
Whatever. He did trademark sports entertainment, correct? Or he's
trying to.
That's funny.
Which is really funny because I feel like that you can't trademark something that's been that specifically used by a single company. Like us, for instance. I trademarked Wrestling on the Rocks, but let's say I didn't. You can't just trademark it now because it's been publicly established that this is our entity.
Right.
And for years. It's not like we just started and it's not like there would be a contest of how close was it. If someone tried to trademark it today, we could say, for 3 years we've been doing that. It's our public platform. They get turned down right away. So I can't understand how Jericho could potentially trademark sports entertainer and sports entertainment when it's clearly a phrase that's openly used for decades on the big platform. But we'll see how it turns out. I mean, I don't understand contracts. So it'd be interesting to see if they get it.
Well, Paris Hilton did try to do That's Hot back in the day.
But she didn't get it.
Yeah.
I know, exactly. So he's probably not going to get it.
I wonder if he's just talking to Paris Hilton for ideas.
Who knows?
What else we got?
That would be hot.
That'd be hot.
What else we got for news?
Other news. We talked about it yesterday, so I don't need to go into nearly as much of it today, but I want to give you the opportunity and the platform to pay your respects to Scott Hall, one of the greats, one of the all-timers, one of the guys who tangibly changed the business in a number of ways. Massive inspiration and coach and mentor to many. We found out more and more as stories came out. Close friend to a lot of people. Scott Hall passed away just the other day. What do you got, Amanda?
Well, that really made me really sad, and especially because he was going in for a surgery on something that, like what Bret Hart said in his little blurb, that these were guys that wrestled like almost 300 nights a year.
Yeah, a year,
and he's repairing his body. I mean, I know there was years of drug abuse and alcohol and all that, but to finally be in that kind of place to replace your hip or have that kind of surgery, and you had 3 heart attacks during it, like that's huge. And it's kind of like, wow, it's shocking to me, and it's very scary because it makes you think of some of those other people from that era who are still alive, because a lot of them are gone. And there's some that are still there that you're like, man, when are they gonna go? And I'm not saying that in a negative way, but for me, what I always loved about Scott Hall, and when I was younger, what really drew me to Razor Ramon was all of those promos that he did, leading up to him, coming on TV. And I think that for me, that's what drew my love of, a good vignette. That was, for me, that's a good vignette, because you're getting, this is that person's character. And I just was like, wow, this is great. Like, this is, I'd rather watch this than the wrestling part of it.
Yeah, sometimes.
But for me, that was always the best part of it, was seeing these vignettes. And when, WWE or whatever started going away from that, it's like, it's boring. It's like, you can only do so much with a character, but now they've kind of perfected the art of it, and you don't have to do it with vignettes, or if you do it with vignettes, they're not that great anymore.
The crowd fucking complains. The crowd shits on vignettes when they do them now. They're, what's this? Why don't you just bring them out? And you're like, okay, well.
No.
Vince McMahon personally directed those ones. Scott
Really?
Hall listened to an old interview of his from 2015 just the other day, and he talked about how Vince was doing TV like in Canada, and then flew down to Miami to direct those vignettes with Scott Hall. Like, that was a direct Vince creation. It was really, really cool.
Yeah, that's really cool, because for me, I loved those, and that's what made me interested in his character. It was kind of creepy, but it was great because you learned about, there was so much thought that was put behind it. So definitely, I think that he was a big catalyst, and his vignettes were a big catalyst for a lot of people, and how they developed.
I think his Mr. Perfects and Jeff Jarrett's are some of the all-time great vignettes.
Yeah, those are the great ones.
Yeah, those ones you can rewatch 100 times.
Yeah, and they don't feel like they're outdated, which is great. It's like, I think that they would stand up even now if they were that age now and coming in. I think definitely those would be great, and what we're kind of missing. And I wish there was more. Did you get a chance
to meet Scott Hall?
Once, and it's kind of funny how I met Scott Hall, because I accidentally ran into him. I was talking to somebody, and I wasn't paying attention where I was walking, and I almost knocked him off. I meet a lot of people, and I'm like,
you nearly bum rushed him.
And just speared him.
I'm like, I am so sorry. And he goes, that's okay. He says, you were deep in that conversation. He's like, appreciate that. And I go, we were practically yelling across the convention floor at each other. So, who I was talking to. So I'm like, it was Juice Robinson who I was talking to. You're like, who? Yeah. Well, I don't know. Juice didn't tell me. He just stayed and had this conversation. I was like, I gotta go walk away. Cool. Yes. So he was really nice. It was cool, because I was like, at first I was not paying attention who I ran into, and then 3 minutes later, when he had gone away and I had gone my way, I was like, God damn it, that was Scott Hall. Why didn't I? But bitch, if I want to go see him now, I got to pay like $80 or whatever. I'm like, nah, never mind. So. Now, I did hear of a story that was really funny happened at WrestleCon in Dallas. I believe it was Dallas. It was either Dallas or New Orleans. It was one of those two. It wasn't Orlando, but I know Colt was going to the bathroom, and Razor Ramon and Scott Hall was going to the bathroom at the same time. And I guess there was a fan that came in and kind of followed them into the bathroom.
Creepy.
Kind of stood by them. Yeah, very creepy. And I remembered. yeah, it sounds normal. And apparently, I guess Scott Hall had said to the guy, because he knew why the guy was in there, he was like, "It's triple if you want to meet me in here." And then Cabana was like, "Wow." Cabana, I guess, had done. Really, I would only done double, but okay. Well,
Oh my god.
the guy walked away because he was very embarrassed, and I only remembered this because Colt was telling this to who was there? Chuck Taylor, Trent, Grado. I want to say, I think it was Chad. No, JTU was not there. No, it was Brian Myers. That's who was there too, and we're all laughing about it. I'm like. People, and I say, people really do follow you guys to the bathroom and go to the urinal. They go, yeah. Did you ever see that picture of Randy Orton or whatever? Or there's pictures of people that go in the urinal, the men's room, and at the urinal, there's a picture.
That's so
which I'm like,
weird.
Yeah,
weird.
Tim Ross
It's
tells a good
creepy.
story about someone who followed him in there and said, "Hey, I just would like an autograph," and he goes, "My hands are a little full right now, pal."
Oh, that is just too much.
Yeah. So, rest in peace, brother. So that's
Yeah, rest in peace, man. Spinner Fox has a story in there too. He goes, "Man, Razor was the man." He goes, "I went to my first wrestling event and he was the main event. It was for the IC title, Razor versus Jeff. Oh man, Razor and Jeff Jarrett matches were so fucking good." He goes, "I remember it well." He goes, "Jeff did a dirty pin and won the title and the crowd went crazy about it. Then another ref comes down to the ring. Oh, this is the old Memphis fucking finish. Now the ref runs down to the ring and lets the current ref know what happened, and they restart the match. 5 minutes later, he beats them with the Razor's Edge. The crowd went wild."
Nice.
He goes, "I got a foam IC title instead of the Winged Eagle foam title and his Razor necklace." He goes, "This loss hurt just like Eddie's did." And GR Luna's in the chat says, "Hi, friends." Yeah, this was a big one. I remember I even got these in one of my first pro wrestling crates came with one of these. It was a Razor Ramon toothpick holder, and I was like, "This is the coolest fucking thing." Yeah, me and Kev both got super excited to get these, and it just comes out and just fucking little dispenses one, and you just kind of, oh yeah, man.
Oh, your mom would have hated that.
She would have hated it because we would leave restaurants. I'd be walking around with a toothpick in my mouth the whole time, and she would say, "Get rid of it." I'd be like, "All right," and I would take it, flick it right at her face. She hated it. I would get upset. I get in trouble all the time, but you know.
I love it.
You guys think Marsh grew into this? No, he's always been like this.
No, I've always been a problem. Yeah.
Well, I can't tell you how many. I know my brothers did that before. I don't know how many people. I mean, if you watched wrestling in that era, I'm sure if you were a boy, I didn't do that because
Oh yeah.
it's not ladylike. But but I'm sure everyone did
I
that.
got in trouble and so they couldn't take the toothpicks from the restaurant anymore, and yeah, it was the whole thing. And I used to keep the little individual ones. I would grab 4 or 5 and keep them in my pocket, so when I flicked one, I'd add another one because it was cool as hell. It was fucking Razor, man. Yeah, it was.
Yeah, you guys stole toothpicks, and I would steal the Starlight mints. They put those in the thing, or Andy's mints. I'd steal them by the bagful. So it's like a buffet. Just
if you
pour
were
it
a
in my
little
bag.
boy in the late '90s, you were stealing every fucking toothpick from the restaurant you could because you'd be just as cool as Scott Hall. I'm like, hell yeah, man. But yeah, cheers to him. Rest in peace, and it's a big loss to that community.
Yeah. Especially because he turned his life around. So did like a total like 180.
Yeah, I mentioned that yesterday that there's a certain part of us that feels really good that if we had to lose him, that this is how it was, and it wasn't a tragedy 10 years ago. It could have been, in that regard, it could have been a lot worse. It's really nice that towards the end of his life, he was able to see how much the fans loved him. He got to see himself going to the Hall of Fame twice with his best friends. You know, like it was. I'm glad that he got that, because not a lot of these guys get that. You know.
No, they don't.
So yeah. They don't. Yeah, Lunar says RIP to the bad guy. And Finn Fox says toothpicks were also banned in his house as well. So.
Yeah, I told you.
That's what happens. But yeah, I don't think I had any other news. What do you got?
Yeah, I did have the toothpick holder. It was kind of cool. I was offered some money for it, and I said no.
Yeah. Yeah, it's one where when we got it, I was like, I don't know what I'll do with it because I don't use toothpicks that much, but I don't want to ever not have it nearby. Like, the idea of a Razor Ramon toothpick holder is so cool.
I don't know whose idea that was, but I swear, if Ryan Barkin wants to make some extra money, he should reproduce that.
Yeah.
Maybe send some of the funds to, Scott Hall's family or the foundation.
Make that the white plastic, make it gold, do a purple razor on there, like do a Hall of Fame version. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, do it up, man. Do it up. Do something special. Any other news that you had before we talk Dynamite?
I mean, NXT news.
Was it news that happened on NXT TV?
Yeah. No, not on TV. No.
Oh, the new signees? They signed a whole new class of people. Did you see it?
I saw only one, but I didn't see who all was signed.
Bunch of youngins.
There's a lot of real young talent. Roxy. If you remember Notorious Mimi, if you've seen her been looming about, she just turned 19 recently. She's been wrestling for since she was 16. So I saw was it Santino Morelli's daughter?
Yes.
Finally got signed. And there was another gentleman, I don't remember his name, but he's been wrestling and even won an award on PWI for like most must see or something since like 2014. So he's been wrestling for a while too. I'm saying all that because of the pettiness, and I love pettiness.
Are you thinking of Mother Lover Jake Tucker?
Sure.
Tucker is actually trained by Kane, Natalia, Tyson Kidd, and Pritchard.
Wow.
So, yeah, dope. Yeah, that's one of the kids. Yep. It's crazy.
Wow.
Yep. If you watch Natty, and because she does a lot of the workhorse training videos with like Liv Morgan and stuff, he's one of the guys in those videos. Liv even tweeted out that he's someone she's been training with all year. And I mean, we've made mention of it a number of times how quickly and how much better Liv's been getting identifiably in the ring over the past year or so. So, they're all working hard. But yeah, the talent pool there almost exclusively was people who have wrestled on the indies. And I'm only saying that because all the dirt sheets that took the NXT directive of we're no longer going to be focusing on scooping up indie stars meant that they were no longer going to be signing anyone from the indies. And I even said then, I think that it was a complete misrepresentation of what is probably going to actually happen. Because I think the idea is they're not going to sign an Adam Cole for the sake of having Adam Cole. They're going to sign people who they think they can do something with. And sometimes it's young talent. Sometimes it's college talent. Sometimes it's people who've been wrestling for a few years, like Roxy, who they think they can do a lot with because she's young and doesn't have too many bad habits. But I don't think they're looking for people with a shitload of bad habits to try and reform anymore. And I think all it is it just tears apart that weird, awkward narrative that the dirt sheets had. I even saw it. They'd interview people and they go, so what do you think about NXT's new direction of not hiring anybody from the indies anymore? Do you think that means that everyone on the indie scene is going to start veering their careers more towards AEW as a goal and just forget about WWE because it's going to be pretty much insurmountable odds at this point?
Right.
And I'm seeing questions geared that way.
Wow.
And I'm going like, what the fuck is that? Like, we don't know yet. Like, they just said they're not focusing on indie stars. They're focusing on young talent. There's a difference.
Well, I think it's even more than that. I think part of it is what you said. The more maybe athletic, and I think it has something to do with their NIL, their NIL program, right, where they're getting kids from college who are in not necessarily wrestling, but different kinds of sports.
Yeah.
The key is they're athletic. They can be molded.
Yeah.
I mean, I think immediately of Bianca. So athletic, not necessarily starting out with wrestling, but I'm looking at some of this talent coming in, and like Joseph Sculthorpe, 6'2", 305 pounds, was an NCAA All-Conference offensive lineman in North Carolina State before signing with the Falcons. As an undrafted free agent, originally from North Carolina, was a high school state heavyweight wrestling champ. Like there's there's a mix, so it's not just not just all indie, but not just has no experience whatsoever with some sort of combat. I was seeing the Corelli, Santino Corelli's daughter, Bianca. She has extensive training in MMA fighting with a focus on judo and jiu-jitsu and boxing. So like it's a really cool athletic mix, I feel like.
Yeah. But they're also not shunning away from people who've had an indie career. Roxy, for one, was the Ring of Honor women's champion by the time they folded. I mean, who knows where they're going to be at now, but I'm just saying what I've been saying forever. I think that there's a whole lot of room there for young talent to still go that direction should they want to. I don't think WWE's closing the door on someone at the moment they say, well, I've wrestled somewhere else before. They're not going to say, well, that's a deal killer. That's it. You're done for. Yeah. You wrestled at Ring of Honor twice. Like, I think it's just a lot more broad, and it's a lot more vague than I think that the reporting world wants to give credence to. You know what I mean? I mean,
also, it kind of feels like this crop, obviously they're really excited, but some of this, yes, this is their dream, so it's like, if that's what these folks want, like, cool, let's let them shine, and, not knock them before they even started.
Oh, yeah. I saw some people shitting on it. I saw a few people tweet this. They all tweeted the same line, and it was hysterical to me because I was like, you guys are all so smart.
What?
It said, I genuinely do not understand anybody who says their dream is to work in the WWE. And I was like, okay, I genuinely do not understand why you have to understand someone else's dream.
Yeah, it's
I
theirs.
don't give a fuck if you would or not.
Yeah.
I know people who dreamed to be a chef. That was their dream, to go up and be a chef at a head of a restaurant.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't want to do that. I don't have to fucking understand your dream to appreciate that you're getting there. You know what I mean? Like, I don't understand. Well, I genuinely don't understand why you feel the need to tweet your goddamn thoughts about someone else's perspective.
Because that's Twitter. That's Twitter.
Because it's children.
But yeah,
I swear, these are probably the same people who probably also thinks, you know what my dream is I want to be an AEW. Now, no one had that dream 10 years ago because there was no AEW.
Right.
That's true.
Okay. And, so it's don't shit on this, For some people, that was the dream. But, will it happen? No, not always. It doesn't happen for everybody. It doesn't. And if it happens for you, great. If it doesn't, if you love it so much, you will do pretty much anything to keep, if wrestling is your thing. Yeah. And, you'll do whatever. And you can see that there are people that have done fine without WWE in their careers or AEW. And they've been fine.
Yeah. So, but I also like that this crop, they're excited to be where they're at. So maybe they're not super distracted with whatever other, wherever everyone else is going. Like, because you want people who are like motivated and excited about what they're doing where they're at. I feel like, because if not, it's like, okay, I'm going to be stagnant. I guess it's just a job. Like, you don't want people who are just doing the same thing over and over. You want people who are like fresh and coming up with new things and like just excited,
And Gio Lunar says it in the chat too. He goes, in quotes, "It's my dream to work for the biggest, most respected business in the industry," end quote. And he goes, "Cool story, bro." Like someone's just shitting on someone being like, "I want to work for the biggest, the absolute fucking largest company." And that's another thing too. I could also understand there was the prospect, especially from an IT perspective, of being like, I want to be part of a big startup that goes somewhere.
Yeah.
Versus someone else goes, I want to work for Apple. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like Daniel Bryan wanting to go to AEW is cool. Like, that's what he wants.
Because he had the WWE stuff. If
Yeah,
he was still
yeah.
in Ring of Honor today and AEW opened, he would settle for an AEW, but the dream would have been to be on the biggest stage of them all. That's what I mean. But it's also varies from people. I've worked with tech people who wanted to work for the biggest company they could. They wanted to work for a Google or an Apple. They wanted to work for something big.
Yeah.
And I've also worked with people in IT who desperately wanted to be a part of a young startup that did something cool.
Yeah.
And
That's
it's
what I
just
work
different
for. Yeah.
mentalities. Yeah, it's different mentalities. And there's nothing wrong with those.
Right.
But I don't need someone to fucking tweet about how you're stupid for having your dream. Fuck off. It's not yours. You don't gotta live it.
Jealous.
Yeah. Just because you don't know how to do the work. That's the other thing. The fucking people. This dream thing, to begin with. The American dream, baby. The idea that people are watching in droves AEW and they think, I'm that good already, is a bad thing. The idea that every person I've seen on the indie scene out here goes, well, I could be on AEW. That's fucking terrible. Because you know what they all say? It's a lot of work to get to like a WWE. I don't know if WWE would take a guy like me. But when they see AEW, they go, oh, I mean, well, clearly I'm at least that good. That's bad because these guys are not good. A lot of them are terrible. A lot of them are so bad. They're embarrassing. And they watch AEW and they go, well, I'm at least as good as them. It's a problem. It's a big fucking problem. So let the dreams be the dreams. Let people go for their dreams and shut the fuck up about it.
Yep.
Yep.
I'm going to go back a little bit because Splinter Fox says that guy was the friend of Natty and Tyson Kidd. He goes, he had an AEW dark match, maybe even a couple. He goes, dumbass comment didn't sign him. That's also been a surprise to me, too. The amount of young, good talent that's come through AEW dark that he hasn't signed. Like Danny Jordan.
Oh, yeah.
I get a little, like, I get upset when I think about Danny Jordan's career at this moment. She has been consistently on almost every dark and dark elevation. Well, has she been on elevation? You watch that? I don't.
Yeah. Yes.
Wow.
She's been one of their most used jobbers. Used more even than Fuego. She's always there to put over the next talent. She's in the best shape of her life. She's doing more matches than she ever has. She's working for more promotions than she ever has. And all she wants is to be signed to AEW. And Tony just won't fucking sign her and has been leading her on for 3 years with a dangling carrot of, well, maybe.
Splinter
and that shit makes me so mad.
Splinter saying he thinks that she's injured now.
Danny Jordan?
Yeah,
Maybe.
I think she is. Yeah, I think she is.
I don't care if she is. She should have been signed 2.5 years ago.
Okay, well, here's the thing. Speaking of people being signed. Okay, so AEW had signed Nick Wayne, who, if you know a lot of deep wrestling history, that's Buddy Wayne's son. And Nick is 16. Yeah, Nick is 16, and he wasn't allowed to do Hammerstein because of the commission in New York.
Yeah.
And that was a bummer because it was no secret, but I will say that Lauderdale did kind of try to slide him in there because the kid's that good. But he's never been on a dark, he's never been on elevation. And all of a sudden Darby comes and gives him this contract, which is very interesting because I think because of the style of wrestling, and he's that damn fucking good. Like, he can give Bryan Danielson a run for his money. Seriously. I think
he could if he had the right trainers. I don't know with him being signed to AEW, he will ever get the right trainers.
I mean, the trainers are there. It's just...
But
they're there, but they don't use them the same way.
No.
You know what I mean? Like, I think he could. If he was trained by guys like Regal and Dustin Rhodes and even QT, the way that I've heard about QT's training programs, I think guys like that who could teach him to slow down and make it look natural and make it look real. Like, I'm not saying you can't go fast, but I watched him live and I thought, oh, this is highly choreographed. There was... The last 2 minutes of the match was fantastic. Everything before it felt like a waste of time to get to the last 2 minutes and felt super choreographed and didn't feel like a fight at all. And I was like, man, if he had the right trainer, the ability is all there. He just needs to figure out how to do it psychologically to make it make sense why we're here, what we're doing.
Yeah. Well, he had a great match. Yeah. Well, he had a great match with Speedball Mike Bailey. when I was at West Coast Pro a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
And poor guy, oh God, he had to go to the hospital because he had some internal bleeding. And I'm like, oh God. Because when he got out of the ring, he got out of the ring in front of me and he spit a lot of blood out. I'm like, dude, are you all right? Because he did not look that good. And he goes, I think I'm fine. I go, you better go to the hospital. You know, and you heard me all concerned mom, like, go to the hospital because that could be some serious shit. So,
right.
But he was okay because then he wrestled for, I can't remember, I think it was GCW the next night or whatever, but he took it easy because, you know, whatever. But I think that if he is not developed properly, and he's going to get those bad habits, and I would hate to see someone with that much talent go that wayside, because honestly, there are some who
a generic guy like everyone else. He's gonna my fear he's gonna just look like everyone else when he's got the talent to be better than everyone else.
Exactly. You know? Like that's a person who, that's your future. This is the guy that, because he's so young, you're gonna see, and the style that he has, is you're gonna see him years down the road, and you know, which is a great thing, because a lot of these guys now, like, look at Leo Rush. Yeah, he retired. He's gonna come back again, and then he'll retire again. But you know, I'm waiting again. But when you have things like, you know, when you have a style like that, it's very limiting. And all these guys know that, except for the real young dumb ones. They don't know. So I think definitely that's something that, if I were to ever say, oh, I want to go to AEW, but if you have that kind of talent, unless they're gonna have a good mentor for you to work out some of these other little, I don't want to call them bad habits, but work out, like, kind of the, you know, that indie training, because, you know, some places when you learn, you know, wrestling are better than others. So definitely, you know, but I mean, his dad was Buddy Wayne, so it's, you know, learn from his dad. So, but
we'll
just saying. So
I will tell. Spinner Fox does say Lindsay Snow became the IWE Pro Champion that Jordan held forever. And he goes, I don't think he can wrestle until he gets to be 18 on their TV, which I think that's what I heard too. But
I think that's true. But still,
he goes, but shit, his match with Swerve and Joey on Defy Wrestling, where they were fire. They're on YouTube. Check it out, Nick Wayne. And he goes, I could see Danny Jordan be the one to beat Jade with a major upset. That could be a big. That could be a 1-2-3 Kid Razor moment for women wrestling in AEW. That could be a big thing, right? That people will talk about forever. But he goes, but con man, don't pull the trigger until it's too late and they already have been picked up. Yeah, I just wonder. And Justin Time says he just recently wrestled AR Fox, who I'm amazed no one has scooped up either.
No, that was after. Yeah, that was after the day after West Coast Pro. Now that's a name that, you know, honestly, people need to, you know, talk about, you know, letting things go. He's one that is so talented. He's an excellent trainer because he's trained so many people. Have gone through his school, that, you know, he's not on a platform, and he should be somewhere. He's an incredible wrestler, and it's just because, I'm sorry, the guy needed money, and he, you know, I don't know if people know the story, but he did, you know, gay porn, you know, I mean, but it's like, that shouldn't ban you from being a wrestler. So what? You know, I'm sure that some other people have done things far worse than that, you know.
Oh, yeah. It's not that bad of a thing.
Yeah, it's not that bad of a thing. But that's why you don't see him on a platform like an AEW. Yeah. Or, you know, you haven't even seen him on Dark or Elevation, you know. Yeah. So,
well, I'm wondering, I mean, at what point is the indie talent just going to say, you know what, it's not worth it. Don't waste your time with AEW. Just go to all the other places.
Yeah, it's got a guy like Joey and Peter Avalon even talking about it.
I mean, there's now a lot of other places, which is great because we love GCW.
GCW.
Oh yeah.
Love West Coast Pro, like
local wrestling
Defy
out of Texas. Defy. Like you said, West Coast Pro has been fucking hitting at all cylinders.
Yeah.
Mission Pro now.
Mission Pro. Prestige out in Oregon. They had a fantastic tour just now with West Coast Pro.
And Warrior. Warrior Wrestling.
Warrior.
A real
Warrior Wrestling's been on fire.
Booker
T's absolutely.
Just
Booker T's World of Wrestling, Reality of Wrestling.
Yeah, I think they just had a show.
Yeah, they're getting back in the swing of it. I don't think they're making the waves that the other ones are yet, but I think they will. They will.
And I also think what Marquez is doing with his, the
CW.
championship wrestling, his CW, again, another great platform. And I'm I'm glad that there is that platform, because that's a great place for people to learn TV wrestling. And what a great teacher that is to have Marquez. And I think that's what really hurts NWA. Just to be honest, I think that's what hurts it. And I also think too, with getting rid of Lagana, I understand why they did it, but honestly, it really did affect them hardcore.
GR Lunar makes a great point. He says CYN, am I right? See? Lunar gets it. You control everything. What was it? What was the first two rules? You control it all or something? It wasn't you control your narrative. You are in control. That's what it is. You are in control. And then the second was in all caps. You are in control!
I like the parody one, grab your nuts.
Yeah, control your nuts. Yeah.
Yes, that was a good one.
Yeah. But
and I'm sorry, but people like to give them a lot of crap because it's a lot of those guys that have weird political views. But to be quite honest, at the end of the day, it's really not about that, unless their gear looks like, unless they do make it like you don't see Flip Gordon wearing his MAGA hat. I'm sure he has one, but that. It's his prerogative, It doesn't mean that it changes my opinion of him.
Yeah.
Because I think he's a really great person.
There's also a lot of people who. There's a lot of people who I can respect what they do as far as performing goes, in and out of wrestling, just other atmospheres where I go, I would never be friends with that piece of shit, but I will watch their stuff all the time. You know what I mean? Like.
Well. Yeah. Well, if you're like Drake Wirtz, the referee, the one that was on NXT, and you're kind of like a Nazi, then no, I think you're a piece of shit. So no, but a little bit much,
So you think pretty soon indie talent is just going to start ignoring AEW and just start going to?
I don't know.
Okay.
I wouldn't be able to comfortably be confident in saying yes or no to that. I think that's a problem. I think I should confidently be saying no. People are going to want to in droves to go to AEW. The problem is AEW is picking up people in droves and pushing out some of the talent who really needed a place like AEW to thrive and be the next big platform, and it didn't work out that way. So I do feel like that in the next year or two. I mean, Splinter Fox says he doesn't think AEW is even going to be around after 2025.
Wow. I
wish I could tell him he's out of his goddamn mind, but I can't.
No, it's true. I mean, the way it's going right now.
I just don't know. I don't know what it's going to look like in 5 years. And I feel like when it first started, we had all these visions of what it was definitely going to look like. And it's just gone in so many different ways that I agree that by 2025, I don't know what it's going to look like at all. And to be honest, if it closed shop in 5 years, I don't feel like at this point I would be shocked.
Yeah.
I feel like I would have been shocked a year ago if you said it's not going to last 5 years. I'd have been like, no way. They're on fire. They're doing stuff, man. They're making waves. At this point, I go, it's combobulated. It's all over the fucking place.
I do feel like a lot of the stars have other things going on. They're not relying solely on AEW. Like all the big, like they're all going to other promotions, which is great, right? Because it opens the door. So they're not tied to one place. But part of me thinks, is that just like a plan B because you're not really confident in what's going on?
I don't think it's a plan B. I think that AEW is just a check right now. I think a lot of people are cashing checks. I think you could look at the majority of the AEW signed roster and say free money to a lot of those people. Getting free. Arn Anderson is getting free fucking money.
Oh yeah, JR loves it. Like I'm happy for people like JR.
Oh, yeah.
Like
I love it.
Drunk JR is my favorite JR.
I mean, he's legend. I mean, he's put his time in, man.
Yeah. Make the people like an Aubrey Edwards or Tony Schiavone or those people, make them work like dogs, okay? Because there's other people like Miro's probably sitting back like, hey, I haven't wrestled since November.
Fucking free money.
I just signed again. Free money for another couple of years. Brian Cage, same thing. Now, Joey, this is one thing I forgot. He did say there's two pay structures. There's the pay per appearance. And he said, why do I want to do that? you know,
Huh.
or you just get money, you know, every like a check every 2 weeks or whatever. Yeah. So, which I get, you know, but I mean, obviously, I think, didn't someone say Sting's on pay-per appearance?
I think that's
I
why
wanna
they don't
say
use him more than once a show.
Yeah.
Because I don't think they can afford to use him more than once a show. And I don't
No,
mean that in
'cause
the
they
way
have
that
to
like
pay.
Tony doesn't have the money, but I think they can't justify $3,000 appearance multiple times in a night. That's why he comes out once a show and does very as little as possible and then leaves.
I mean,
Yeah,
that
and the
was,
snow's expensive.
Probably Bubbles, yeah.
that is kind of
And it's not
crazy to think.
Bubbles.
When they started, we really had high hopes for how is this going to change the contract business, right? Is it everyone gets free healthcare? Everyone's, you know, it's this magical place where people want to go.
Yeah,
now
unicorns
it's
and
like,
rainbows.
thinking about where we are now, it's like I don't know.
Oh yeah. And I also think Sting has a different pay structure for appearance versus a match.
Yeah.
Like I think he's getting like $3,000 if he just walks out there. I think he's getting closer to 10 if he's actually in a fight.
Yeah.
If he gets physical, you know what I mean? So, but I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't understand
I'm
contracts.
not taking.
I don't.
I neither. But yeah, with him getting on that one ledge and going off of it, yeah, that I'm like that. Car for me.
Yeah, that probably
For
costs
that.
a few. And I'm glad they've never replayed it, so it's worth their money. Spin Fox
Yeah.
does say if he doesn't sign Maddie Rinkowski, it's going to be a major loss. I've heard a lot about her, and I think she's one where I don't understand
Maddie
why
is-
she hasn't been signed. She's
my God.
on their dark all the time as well. Like,
Yeah.
they're already missing out on her, for sure.
Yeah, she and I are talking about it, like when she was at West Coast Pro, because she's come out a couple of times, and I'm like, what's wrong with them? And she goes, I don't know. And I said, it just between you and me and the walls or whatever. And she goes,
And
yeah,
all of our
you know,
listeners.
whatever. And all of our listeners now. I said, is it like a favorites game, you know, or something? Because you see some of these ones and you're like, why the hell did they sign them? She goes, I've never delved into it that way. She goes, but sometimes I wonder. And she said, she goes, I'm not going to sell my soul to try to be on TV. I'm not going to do it. She goes, I'd love to. But Maddie does have, I think, some of the best character work for women that's out there right now. I mean, she's amazing. And I really like her a lot.
Mission Pro.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Thunder Rosa.
Yeah. And Thunder Rosa, I mean, that's who actually got her some, I think Thunder Rosa did get her to get on, you know, Dark.
Yeah.
And stuff. But yeah, there's been 3 women that I think that they need to sign. Danny Jordan, Maddie Rinkowski, and then the other one was Lady Frost, because Lady Frost is damn good. And I'm like, why'd you do that? And then the other one is Vipress. So there's 4 women who I think would
Snow.
be
I would argue Lindsay Snow should be signed
Oh,
by
yeah.
now, too.
Lindsay Snow, isn't that no, I thought that was Lady Frost.
No,
Lindsay
they're
Snow.
different. They're both frozen.
Oh, okay.
But they're different for each.
Frozen people. Okay.
Lindsay Snow is the blonde hair, dreads, covered in tattoos.
Oh,
Lady
yeah,
Frost,
okay.
short hair.
Is
Short
the
hair.
Short little pit bull, too. She's
She's
built
buff.
like she can punch her head off.
Yeah, she's buff. She kind of does the gymnasticsy
Oh,
stuff.
that's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, she's pretty good.
I think, you know, and that would elevate their women's division,
Oh, yeah.
you know,
Yep.
because, you know, they don't
Spin
use
Fox has Caitlin Kane,
Diamante.
too.
Oh, yes. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's a lot of great
Yeah.
women talent that are not getting scooped up right now, and AEW
Yeah.
has only themselves to blame, really, because
Yeah.
I mean WWE doesn't sign indie talent anyway, so
Yeah. Well, now it's getting to the point where, you know, AEW doesn't sign indie talent either. They just sign, you know, WWE like firees or contract enders.
yeah, it's really weird. I don't know what's going on with it, but let's see.
Yeah.
Justin Time says Impact beat AEW to the punch and got Lady Frost.
Yep.
I feel
Oh,
like-
okay.
Yeah, she's with
I
Impact.
think she signed that contract because she was waiting for a second contract that didn't show.
Yeah.
But let's talk AEW Dynamite. There's only 2 segments on the whole show that I thought were even worth talking about. But you might think different. Keep saying Willow. I keep thinking of Willow as Springfield keeps talking about Willow.
Willow Nightingale.
Willow
She's one
Nightingale?
that they need to sign too. Yes.
She needs
Now she
work.
was. Well, yeah, I know, but she was also signed with Ring of Honor, so she was one of the
She
women of
was.
honor.
And
Yeah.
she needs work. She's one who should be on like Dark and Dark Elevation for a while and really tune up. But at the same time,
Yeah.
so is their former women's champion. But I don't know. The only two segments I thought were worth really breaking down some was the Jericho Appreciation Society promo that lasted for 7 hours, and then the title match at the end in the cage. Were there other segments you wanted to talk about?
The only other segment, to be honest, because a Young Bucks match is a Young Bucks match is a Young Bucks match. The Moxley Danielson. Yeah, then they open against Cole and Red Dragon.
I thought it was Jungle Boy. Yeah, it was Jungle Boy
Maybe.
and Hangman Page against.
Oh, sorry.
But it might as well have been a Young Bucks match. It was just as forgettable.
Yeah. No, yeah. Oh yeah, that's right. They only had one great move. I don't know how they got Luchasaurus to do this, but all three of them, Hangman, Jungle Boy, those two were on the top rope. Luchasaurus did it from the apron. They all did this great moonsault on all, each one of the dudes. So It was great how they got Luchasaurus to look good. I don't know how, but I was slightly impressed with that. But anyways, a lot of work. But I was really kind of jazzed about, and of course, I know Amanda and Vicky Starks. Yeah, I know his little promos here. The Keith Lee thing, I love the build-up they're going to do. And I thought Hobbs was supposed to wrestle him this week, but I guess not. They changed it, maybe. I don't know. So it's now Max Caster. So that was very interesting to see. Then we see Ricky later, talking to the Acclaimed. And guess who comes out is Swerve. So, since Ricky's claimed, Rampage is Stark's country, Swerve wants to make it Swerve's house because,
I just don't understand how either talent want to claim Rampage as their own when it's the single lowest rated wrestling program on TV.
Different.
Well, you know what? Ricky's got nothing going on.
Oh.
Let's go there. I mean, he's only going to be on Dynamite next week probably because he's from Austin. And when he wrestled in Austin the last time, he beat Cage, and that pop was just tremendous. So, you're going to get that. And he'll probably, if New Orleans is on there too. But I'm like, dude, you didn't start your wrestling in New Orleans. You started your shit in Vegas and then, and in Texas. So, that's kind of more your hometown, but whatever. Because even companies in Louisiana, Luke Fox is, I think it's Luke Fox or somebody or whatever. I don't know his name, but it's Wildcat Wrestling. They didn't book you during Mania Week. I was there when they were in New Orleans. He was only booked with Wrestle Circus. But anyways,
Gotcha.
So, but yeah, no, I mean, if you don't have much going on and that's all you have, again, unfortunately, you're not an ex-WWE person that was heavily featured on WWE programming and got picked up by Con Man. And,
It's a shame.
Yeah, it's a shame. It's a shame. So there's quite a few of them. I mean, he's just one of them. So yeah, so let them claim small potatoes because that's probably all they can claim at this time. Yeah.
No, I could see that.
So
I had the sound off for most of it, so when I saw him, I didn't even bother putting it on because I think at this point too, I'm also just Ricky's been doing the same old shit for a while at this point.
He has, and he sounds like a bratty child. And I'm like,
it's not
honestly,
it's not character growth at this point.
No, it's not.
His character's established, but he's not shining, and there's a problem with that.
No. The only thing shiny is the bling on his ass.
Yep.
That's
a good point.
Saying he has sparkly things in a big butt. So
and Keith Lee has been a total waste so far. He's become really uninteresting real fast.
Oh yeah. What happened to Jay Lethal? That's
Jay
another
Lethal
one.
just is gone. I don't know what's happening with him. That's what I mean. At this point, all these guys are so much more talented than what we're getting. And I think the problem with Ricky is he came in with a lot of flair and looked like a shiny new toy. And he has been just a static plateau of bratty on the mic, and that's kind of it. We don't see him on TV.
Nope.
He does all of his stuff on YouTube where he comes off annoying there, and it's like, I get it. Being obnoxious and being annoying is part of being a heel. There's nothing wrong with that. I'm not saying that in a mean way. I'm just saying that in a same old kind of a way. He's not any more obnoxious or any different in how he does it. It's been the same thing for like 2 years. That it's like, I need something changed. Change your gear. Change your haircut. Turn on Hobbs.
No.
Do something. Bring in someone new. Do something.
They're gonna turn on him.
Sure, I
Because
don't
of
care.
what body
Anything.
shit. But I will say this, okay? This is things that I knew, okay? And I had told Ricky before. Yeah, and you hear, I said it on episode 1 maybe before. I don't know. But I had said to him, that is why you should not go to AEW, because they're not going to know what to do with you. You're going to be a shiny toy for a couple of seconds, and then you're going to get forgotten. Okay.
Yes.
But I think for him, they throw him a bone and if he wants to come argue with me on this one, I'm right, dude. So anyone can tell him this.
Yeah, Splinter Fox says they're getting lost.
He kisses the wrong people's ass. Okay? You shouldn't be sucking up to like Britt Baker and all of her little friends and whatever. Just because she's, like Tony's favorite. Are you really one of Tony's favorites? I don't think so. I really don't think so. Yeah. So, and it was really sad to see. I'm sorry. It was very sad to see on the Jericho Cruise that. And I'm like, you know what? Some people, they deserve to be on that platform. And
but
others.
You know what that shows more than anything? If the truth is that a guy like Starks is backstage rubbing elbows with people he thinks are the favorites, then that really is an expose on the belief of the structure on booking there. Yeah. That it really truly comes down to favorites, and this person said they like this person, and this person's my friend, so let's do this. And it really just puts a huge hindrance on the idea that your hard work pays off one way or another. I mean, and it's like the exact opposite of what the old guys used to say. Scott Hall said it 100 times. It's not show business. There's not show friends. It's show business. Yeah. And he goes, people didn't like me. They didn't want to work with me, but then they really wanted to work with me. They didn't want to be around me, but they want to work with me. And that's something to be said. Like,
that's
if what you're doing on TV, and if what you're doing on the front of the camera is big stuff and undeniable, it doesn't matter what you're like in the back. All the rumors about Brock Lesnar being a total shithead in the back and not being around people and doesn't want to talk to anybody and flies in and flies out. If all that's true, which I kind of don't believe, but if it's true, then why did that not stop him from being on the top for 20 years? Because he was just that goddamn good at doing what he does. And if in the backstage here, it's, well, you better say the right thing to the right person and get them to say you're their friend so that way they give you a bone. Like, that sucks. That's a terrible structure.
Yeah, it definitely doesn't seem like a sustainable, if anything, one.
No, because if you look...
Go ahead.
If you look at it now, 3 years later, look at the Young Bucks. You don't ever really see them interacting with Tony. You don't see that at all. And at first, Tony was always in that fold, right? Same with Cody and Brandy. There was that fold. Slowly, it came more of that Brandy-Cody kind of thing, right? Because obviously, Cody was in Gorilla. And the Bucks were there too sometimes, but for the most part, it was Cody. And I think that as new things, like I said, new things come around, that's what happens. And I think that once you're kind of out of his favor, that's when you kind of get, I don't want to say the boot, but you kind of get, the whatever, okay, and that's what happened, I think, that's what I think happened with Janela, because I remember when Tony was at PWG, and I've said this before in episode 1, I remember how he was. And like Janela was so buddy-buddy with him and all this other stuff, right? And even Janela has said it before in other interviews. And I was like, he makes these people his best friend, or makes them believe that he is their best friend. And then what happens? Oh, there's another person that can be best friends with now that's better than you. So goodbye.
I mean, fucking Swole said on her podcast that he would smoke her weed. Yeah. Like, what the fuck? Like, there's a whole lot of what the fuck on that one. You know what I mean?
Well, he's not a professional. He's just a very rich person that has toys.
Yeah.
Like, that's it.
And he
You
could
better
do
say
that
thank
with
you.
people.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm, better say
Yeah.
thank you.
I mean,
And,
I've worked with people that, had a lot, trust funds, and it's just a different, it's definitely a different mentality when you don't have to work.
I bet
for
Tony
what you
Khan
have.
saw that quote from Kim Kardashian and he was like, exactly.
Probably.
Yeah.
No.
I'm going to go back
No.
just a little bit here. Sprinter Fox,
Not a bunch of chat.
he's all over this Yuta thing, and I could not have given a shit less about the whole Yuta thing. Are you,
Oh,
are
Yuta-
you into Yuta Wheeler at all?
Like Yuta Wheeler, but it was funny because I will say this, and Splinter Fox, you can agree with me or not. I kind of did pop because I love how Trent, yes, he's injured. God, I hate that. But Trent's injured. But Trent, since he's come back from his injury and Yuta's been in the picture, kind of, he's kind of like, whatever. He's like, whatever. He's like, why is this guy here? I was hoping that he would do that, go that little weird, Danielson Regal click, and I like to call it the Regal Bunch. So the Regal Bunch, thought he was going to go that way, so I popped really hard, and then I guess not. So, I don't know, because I think Best Friends needs to trim the fat.
I do think it would be cool if Regal's new thing was every episode he's just slapping the shit out of somebody.
Out of somebody.
Yeah.
Yes.
Whether they join him or not, if that was just this thing where someone gets in his face and you just swap, because he just bitch slap Yuta like nothing, and Yuta just fucking eats it, stares at him, and then Moxley and Daniel Bryan come around the corner from behind Regal, and they're both like, "You like it, right? You're gonna eat another one, aren't you?" Mm-hmm. And also like, okay, this is bitched out Yuta, but
Yeah, this is like.
yeah,
Old
I would
guy
love it if
mean
that was
to
Regal's
this.
thing. 100% of the time, Regal just slaps the ever living shit out of someone because he didn't hold back
That
either.
should. No, he
I
does.
loved it. He'll dislocate
It was
a
great.
jaw next week. I'm gonna be into it.
Oh my god, who would it be? We should take bets on who it's gonna be.
Ooh, who's gonna be the next one to eat a Regal's bitch slap? That would be a good bet, or at least a bingo
Pepsi.
card. Bingo.
Yeah, bingo. I think we'll have to
I-
make one.
I'd like to see him do that to CM Punk.
CM Punk would be a great one to see get slapped the shit out of.
Oh shit!
What's
yeah,
become
you know
of you, boy? Oh, that'd be good. That would
Aren't
be
you
good.
Scotty Gold? Weren't you Scotty Goldman? Wow.
You were supposed to be the chosen one.
Or I can see Luchasaurus. Why would you talk as a dinosaur before and now you just grunt?
Yeah.
Whap. Yeah.
You're a dinosaur with a law degree.
Yeah.
I
Or
love
here's another good
Love
one. Okay, I could see him with like, let's say, I don't know, let's say Danhausen. That's one I really want him to bitch slap.
Oh, I lost Amanda.
Yeah, what? Yeah, you did.
Oh, hold
Uh-oh.
on, Amanda.
Oh.
Technical difficulties, everyone. Take a drink. Take a drink.
Everybody relax. Everybody just take a drink. There we go. I got her. And now you're going to get
Got
right
me.
back to you. There we go.
There we go.
There we go.
Am I
Just Take
back?
a drink. Yeah,
You're back.
Everyone's back. Everyone's
Okay.
back. Cheers to episode
Cheers.
1, y'all.
You
know
make
what I
it
think
sound
it
like-
is?
Yo, Regal reared back. I'll give you that. His fucking
did.
slap
He went-
starts back here. He starts like he's about to throw a fucking
A big
game-winning
baseball.
pitch.
How do you think
Yep.
Bianca got that whip to her
Oh,
hair
I
to
bet
whip?
you he taught her everything about that whip. He probably
Yeah.
said, "Let me see your hair." Put it on himself, and then just like, yeah. I bet you there's
Wait, is
video
her-
somewhere of Regal wearing a long braid and teaching her how to fucking
Wait.
whip bitches.
Oh my god.
Her hair is
Ugh.
fake. That's not real.
No one can grow hair that long.
Oh, I
I
don't
feel
know.
like someone can.
No, that's like
Yeah.
a literal thing. Like if you look up the Guinness Book of World Records and shit, no one's hair is that long.
Okay.
I'm just saying.
Okay.
Her hair
But
is
I
8
was-
foot long.
Well, despite whatever, it looks brutal, and how that sound that you're making is reminding me of it.
Oh yeah, 100%. And Regal's just gonna slap the ever living shit out of every jobber there.
Well, I had said before I got cut off, and I think it's because I think I got cursed, but I see him doing Danhausen.
Ooh,
Like-
that'd be
Oh, come on.
What is it supposed to be? I don't get it. I don't understand
good. Wouldn't that
it.
be amazing? Danhausen gets in his
Yeah.
face and starts going like, "I will
The
curse
cursing.
you," and then Regal just
You.
looks back and forth and goes,
Oh.
just cracks
I
him
love
right
it.
in the face.
I love it.
Yeah.
I think
Bitch slapping
next
pimp
week-
ass William Regal's my new favorite Regal. I will say that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mhm.
All right.
I don't
So
know
what else do we like?
Okay. What's better?
We like.
though?
We love
Arn
Regal
with the
slap.
gun? Arn with
Arm
the
with
gun.
or
That was a
Regal
good
with
one.
bitch slap.
Slap. Yeah, those are the two
Alright.
big ones.
Those are
Yeah.
big. Those are big.
I'd love
Splinter
him
Fox-
for him to do that to Jericho, but you can't do that.
That'd be still good. Splinter Fox does say he could do both at 2.0 though. Splinter Fox does say Yuta shined in that tag match, and that slap by Regal and how he didn't back down got me hyped. He didn't back down, but he fucking ate it, and it's not always the best thing ever. He goes, I'm excited Yuta and looks like Statlander are leaving the awful stable, and Trent needs to go on his way too. I would love if the stable of the best friends became just Chuck. If he came out and it said the best friends and it was only his name and he was like forlorn, I would like that, and everyone else goes their own way. Let Chuck Taylor be the only best friends and he has no friends. That'd be great.
Let me tell you, Chuck Taylor, that's another one cashing in the check. Because usually when
money.
best friends wrestle, free money. Because usually when best friends wrestle, he wrestles once every 8 times probably.
We should
Maybe
start going
10.
through these segments as the free money segments. And this one was a whole bunch of free money.
Free
Let's
money.
check out their roster and figure out how much is free money.
Or how many times will this faction do certain people wrestle?
Yeah.
And on what show? Because I haven't seen Chuck even on the other two, the YouTube ones. So
All right. Well,
I'm just saying.
maybe he's hanging out with Trent's mom.
Hey,
Spinner Fox does
Don't
say,
speak ill of Sue.
he does say, yeah, it was dumbass Chugs here is my bone to pick with him. He goes, how about you focus on wrestling or just streaming? His wrestling is hurting. I know he may be thinking of the future after wrestling, then just stream and stop wrestling because it's hurting major. I do think the Adam Cole stuff does seem, he feels like he's cashing in free money for sure, and his focus is elsewhere for sure. He's like, okay, I work once a week, make some free money, I can go back home and work on my Twitch channel. That really does feel that way. Whether it is that way or not, this is an outside perspective where it feels that way, and it sounds like Splinter Fox agrees with that. Splinter Fox does say, as far as like Starks go, he goes, they're getting lost in the Punk signing. I'm excited we finally didn't see Punk on a Rampage finally. He goes, yeah, it's true. Shelton said if Brock liked you, he liked you. If he didn't like you, then he didn't want anything to do with you. Yeah, sure, but I'm just saying if you can be an asshole in the back and be on top, then it means that Brock didn't have to make friends with the right guys. You didn't necessarily, right? If you are what you are. But Splinter Fox does say Stardust made his own bed. Punk come and just sealed the deal. I feel like there's a whole lot of mess back there that would be really fun to hear about on the Rise and Fall of AEW DVD coming to Peacock
Oh,
near you.
come on. Stop.
I'm just saying.
Can I host it? Because I
All
know
right,
a lot
so-
of
Love
these
it if you
people.
hosted it, and
All
then
right.
Conrad could do a couple of podcasts about it.
No, you stick with
What
your
else?
WWE. Don't come to this country.
All right.
Yeah, this
All right,
country
what
has
else?
its own.
I'll be the Conrad for the AEW folly.
There you
Splinter
go.
Fox says, I bet we're going to get Yuta versus going to be Elite
Yeah.
Con Tiger style.
Yeah, and Trent would have kicked his ass.
Yeah, he
Heavyweight
goes,
Trent.
Justin Time says, have him slap Christian so he stops being Marco Stunt. That would be cool. Regal just walks up to Christian.
Your sound
too
effect
old
for
for this
Regal. is too much.
You're too old
You're
for
too
this.
old to be hanging out with a goddamn dinosaur, mate.
Okay.
It's kind of 90210.
Yeah, 100%.
Oh, I love it. Or the Dark
Uh,
Order, going order. You know, spank number -1 on the butt. Like, why are you doing this crap?
Just picks him up by the belt and walks him to the back.
Oh. Yeah, here,
Splinter Fox
get
says,
out of.
he said Chugs cries about being on the road and away from his Twitch channel. Yeah, you shouldn't be doing that. You should
Yeah,
be
and
happy
his
to be on the
dog, being away from his dog.
road. Okay, go back to your dog. Fox says, Conman will never sell the rights to WWE. Conman is going to be that petty. If the AEW dies, AEW dies. That would be interesting to see, though.
Yeah.
If it did, fall on its ass and it was just going to be a thing, to see if Tony just, in a petty way, just sits on all that content and doesn't have shit all to do with it. And WWE's all like, we'll give you fucking half what we paid for WCW. They lasted twice as long.
How much did you give for Ring of Honor? Okay, we'll give you half of that.
Yeah.
And we'll take the Ring of Honor stuff.
But all right, let's see. The only other two things I had on here was Jericho Appreciation Society and the Thunder Rosa stuff. Do you want to talk about anything outside of those two segments? Are you ready to talk about those two segments?
No, let's talk about those two segments.
Okay. Jericho Appreciation Society, or Jizz as I've been known to call it.
Stop. Oh.
I think the A is pronounced with a soft A, like a line over, like it's Jizz.
You sure it's not jazz?
No, because it's not.
I thought it was
it's
jazz.
It's not happy enough. There's no hand signals.
They did
No
do that
fingers?
singing. They did that singing
fingers.
thing once. They did sing.
But that
once.
The Inner Circle did singing with MJF.
Yeah.
All right.
That
But
was
I
a
think
musical.
I believe Jericho Appreciation Society, in short, is pronounced Jizz.
Okay. Wait, did Scorpio's guy not have a match?
He had a match against Wardlow. I zipped right through it. Couldn't have cared less.
God. I'm so
it
happy
happened
as a
exactly-
title, and
He won. He still has the title, but I
Yeah.
couldn't have cared less about it.
I know.
Yeah,
I was just hoping
because-
that.
It went what would you expect with Wardlow? MJF comes out, Marsh's favorite wrestler.
Sean
chairman.
Spears! Sean Spears!
I just, man,
Yeah.
that's the
Yeah.
guy that should be on the top of this company.
100%. I said it at Double or Nothing. The first one I said that could be the Rock for this company. This guy's got it all. The thing is in that title match, he was the least important thing in the match.
Yep.
Wardlow was more important than Scorpio. The title was more important than Scorpio. The interference was more important than Scorpio. The refs' reactions were more important than Scorpio. Scorpio was strictly a prop in that match, and I didn't want anything to do with it.
And that's sad.
Yeah,
That's sad.
It's sad because I think that he is the dude who could be the biggest breakout star of that company. But I think the company has an aversion to actually having a massive breakout star.
Because that's what, a threat?
It's a threat to the big names that they've signed. Punk
God.
and Daniel Bryan and Moxley and Jericho desperately need there to not be a massive breakout star to ensure their value.
Why? They can build the company.
Yes, and I think guys like Moxley and Daniel Bryan would want and welcome a breakout star. I think guys like Punk and Jericho and Tony Khan want to make sure that they're the most important ones because that's where Tony Khan's money is. If you pay $8 million for a guy like Punk
Oh.
and he's suddenly not your number one guy because this dude you've been paying $3,000 a month to and just gave him a fucking little title for, if he became your breakout star, now it undermines the value of Punk, and it gives that person the ability to say, hey, look, I'm your biggest star, but this guy's getting paid more than me. You should pay me more than him. I think Tony, because of his investments, are what they are. He's making sure that the top guys he's decided are top guys stay that way. And guys like this, and even Ethan Page, who could potentially be a massive breakout star, will not be because they weren't paid to be.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
It's also the truth of the matter. Going back to Scott Hall, rest in peace. Love the dude. Listened to a bunch of his interviews this week because that's how I handle things. And one of the things he talked about was one of the reasons he went to WCW to become the Diamond Stud was because he needed to prove he was something. And so he calls down Diamond Dallas Page and said, I think you need a Diamond Stud. They work out the character of the bad guy through the Diamond Stud. That's where he first had the toothpick. It's where he first had the sunglasses, where he first did the curl. But he'd been calling before that every single day to WWE and asking to talk to someone. And they kept saying, well, let him know you called. We'll let him know you called. He was always super polite. He called every single day. They never returned his call. So he goes to Diamond Stud. He's the Diamond Stud for 6 months. Gets a call. Hey, just up here in WWE, really like what you're doing down there. You got a great look. We like your size. We think what you're doing is pretty awesome. We know you just signed a contract with them and you can't talk to us about a contract, but we want to make sure that you know when you're ready to talk contracts, New York is ready to talk contracts. And they left it at that. And that's why 6 months later, he was Razor Ramon. And that's what I mean. And he said that the reason he left to become Razor right away is because he was paid $75,000 a year. He was the lowest paid person in WCW, and he goes, by salary alone, you will not pay the Diamond Dallas Stud to beat a $250,000 guy. And he goes, pay structure alone told him where he sat on the card, and that's all there is to it. And I think that the pay structure at AEW is not too far removed from that. But what the hell do I know? I'm just a drunk on YouTube who doesn't understand contracts.
No.
That's true. But, I mean, this is why we had high hopes for the company.
Yes.
You know, like, if you want to be different, then...
Be different.
Yeah, other big companies, then this is where you can be different.
And that's something Eric Bischoff always says. You can be better than, worse than, or different than. And those are your three options if you're in competition. And it's a lot harder to be better than. It's real easy to be worse than. But it's really profitable to be different than. That's what you have to focus on being, is different than. Let's circle back a little bit. I went a little bit of a contract diatribe there, and I apologize for everyone getting my economic reasonings here. Spinner Fox does say, okay, my bone to pick with Jericho is that the dumbass stable. Wait, is a dumbass stable? I hope that motherfucker don't get the trademark so
God.
they, quote, entertainment, so that arc can end. I agree with... I mean, that was a terribly constructed series of sentences, but I agree with the sentiment of all of that.
Maybe he's drunk already.
I hope he is. What's in your glass, Splinter Fox? Drink with us. Our drinking
What are
buddy.
you drinking with us, Splinter Fox?
Yeah,
Come
what
on.
are you having?
I mean, it's St. Patty's.
But you know what? It works itself out. He couldn't have picked the most loser people in the company to do that. I'm not talking about Dan.
Okay.
Well, no.
No.
No, that's us.
Jericho didn't pick us.
Well, hold on.
If he did,
Let me
he
stop you there. Let me stop you there
thing
because the
called
next few
Cheers.
comments are about the Sky stuff, and then we'll get back to the Jericho stuff. So Splinter Fox says,
Okay.
Sky will hold on to that title for a long time. I'm calling it. He's going to own everybody. And I hope that he's right. But he says War Dog has to deal with MJF now. That is good. Sky will end up handing over the TNT title and go after the AEW title and be the first Triple Crown. That's really high hopes. I think that I would like that. I don't think Tony Khan is any interested in that. And Spinner Fox says, I feel Brian Punk Mox are double agents to get Khan fans' attention to make AEW shit, calling it. I like the idea. Justin Time says, as great as it is to see Scorpio Sky as TNT champion, I have a bad feeling his reign is going to be awful because of all the awful Dan Lambert stuff. 100%. That's what I mean. That's why I didn't watch this match. Because you could tell from the get-go, your champion is the least important person in the story, and that's a goddamn problem.
Yep.
But let's get back to Jizz, the Jericho Appreciation Society.
God.
Okay.
Spinner Fox
Finish
says,
what I was
Garcia,
saying.
I feel for that man. Why the fuck did he have to be in that stable? 100%. So I think this stable is collectively a grouping of some of the fucking... There's so much hope for these characters, and they're all wrapped up now in this... I think this is awful. I think it was just awful. Like, the promo went on for 8 minutes longer than it should have. This whole sports entertainment gimmick is just so fucking on the nose and stupid.
Oh.
I saw someone say that how brilliant it was that Jericho knows his audience so well to know that if he says sports entertainer, they're going to boo. And I was all like, I know that feels to you like a revelation, but if you've watched any of AEW, you realize that everyone else says, we're not that sports entertainment place, we're a pro wrestling place. Everyone's used that line. Everyone. In every single fucking promo. They say sports entertainment is not what they do. I'm a pro wrestler.
That's funny.
All Jericho did was say what's entertainment. And everyone said, I don't care. I don't care. And now he's got Daniel Garcia, who should be the one getting bitch slapped by William Regal. He should be working with them. And then here we are with this. And then the Jake Hager shit. The fucking Jake Hager shit.
What?
He's just such a fucking prop of flesh. He is such a pointless person there.
He's making money. That's all. It's a
free
check.
fucking money.
It's just a check. Free money.
Oh.
It's a check.
See, I didn't watch. I actually don't watch because it's not what I usually enjoy. But I hate when any company is mentioning another company because it automatically diverts my attention to what I'm watching. then I just automatically am thinking, oh, maybe I gotta tune into that company that you're talking about. So like, I get that they're trying to be super smart, but like to me, casual viewer that just wants to enjoy whatever the hell is on TV, like I am not into that.
I'll be honest, watching this and hearing him talk about sports entertainment made me also. There's a big part of me goes, you know what? You're not as good at sports entertainment as the other company. They are better at that. I will love to go. I'm gonna watch some more SmackDown. Matter of fact, bloop bloop.
Yeah, I mean, I like mentioning wrestling to people at work that are more casual than I am, and it's just I've mentioned AEW to them, and they don't know what I'm talking about. They're like, oh, I think I saw something on TV. My relative watches, and I think I saw something on TV. I was like, oh, was it AEW? And they're like, no, it had, and they'll mention a big name from the other company. So I'm just saying.
Yeah, it's just a lot. Cinefox does say Garcia needs to get a fucking slap in the face by Regal. See, he gets it. Go smarten him up and left the jizz. See, he's on board with the jizz. I'm getting people to do the jizz.
I don't.
Yeah, we're doing jizz.
Oh,
He's jizzing.
I'm not saying that.
No, he's the jizz.
I'm against the jizz too.
What? Oh, come on.
No, bitch slapping is great.
Yes.
No.
Yeah. Jericho comes out and jizzes a promo.
Oh, okay.
Kuro's in the chat. Cheers to Kuro. Splinterfox SA. I gotta say, what can't you just fucking stop using references about the E? You're different, but I can't fucking tell you keep trying to be like them, and it's pissing me off. 100%. I think this whole promo was trying so hard to be smart and cute that you came off as fucking less than, and that's a problem. Yeah. This whole fucking jizz society, the sports entertainment gimmick, it's as cheap as it gets, and it's not that great.
And we use real names.
The real names thing was stupid as fuck. When it comes to sports entertainment and pro wrestling, 4 easy words, they're the same thing, is what Justin Time says.
Yeah.
Lunar says our video's kind of messed up.
Oh.
Maybe. Refresh it. Maybe that'll fix it. Spinnerfox is trying to fix it. Kira says it's choppy. I don't have any errors on my side. Because I usually have errors when my video's fucking up.
It's looking a little choppy to me. It's kind of, yeah.
Oh, yeah, it is choppy on Twitch. Choppy. I wonder if it's not choppy on the other platform. Someone turn on YouTube and tell me if it's choppy over there.
All right. Let me go to the YouTubes.
Because, yeah, it is look choppy as fuck on the Twitch. I'm not getting any errors from my program as far as something going on.
Remember, take a drink, episode 1.
Yeah, Justin Time says it's FooBar right now. It's not very nice, Justin.
No. You're not on Wi-Fi, right?
I'm not on Wi-Fi, no.
Yeah, I think on YouTube it is also choppy.
It's choppy? How am I not getting a fucking error about my choppiness here? Let me go.
It's not great. It's not.
Saying that the jizz is too much.
Maybe I'm getting flagged by the jizz.
Yeah, probably. Mm-hmm. That's probably what did it.
I'm gonna refresh this page here. Let's see what goes on there. Everybody just have a drink. Everybody relax. Have a drink. Bit rate. Keyframe interval. It doesn't look great. Is the audio at least coming in clear? Do you guys have like good audio?
I mean, that I can't tell you because I don't have.
I know, that's why I'm asking in the chat.
All right. Sorry about that.
Yeah, take a drink, everybody. Take a drink.
Yeah, not sure why it's doing what it's doing, but the hell.
Kira said refreshing and it did nothing. On my stuff, it's showing that absolutely nothing is wrong. So it's a little peculiar. If my audio's coming in great, then I'm happy with that.
Yeah,
it's only episode 1.
I don't get it.
Spinnerfox does say, not to mention the Jizz Stable promo could have been on YouTube and not on live TV, so they didn't have to cut the main event short. Yeah, I felt like the main event was cut a little short because of this too. I feel like Jericho takes us all the time that he wants.
But
Jennifer says Twitch stream is getting a little freezy.
Oh, damn it.
Oh,
sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry about that.
I don't know. It's tight.
Complain to Twitch.
I'm getting no errors on my side, which is the thing. And
but
on my side, as I look at the stream that's going out, it's showing like
it's fine.
It's fine. Like I'm seeing everything fine. So I don't know why on the other side's choking up.
Yeah, I don't know if they actually have someone that's like directing the talent as to like how much time you're able to take, but
No,
Yeah, I
no,
feel like they
that's a
need
problem.
they need something to help, because when someone's just
Well,
going overboard, they lose me personally. Like if I,
well,
because when I get off work, that's when it's usually already started, and if I just see someone talking and it's not going anywhere, I'm very uninterested.
oh,
Even it's disappointing when it cuts into someone that we really do want to see, like Thunder Rosa.
Yeah.
well, if we didn't have to hear Judas and half of an audience sing a song where they don't know all the words to, but yet the week before, everyone totally booed, and when they played the song at the end, no one did anything. It was silent. I was like, oh, I guess we're ending that, which I was hoping for. No,
No, they even talked about it. I think they're keeping it because it shows the appreciation the fan has for him. So it's part of the
yeah,
jizz thing.
but if you're sitting here booing him, don't be singing the song, okay?
What's the AEW fan base? They cheer boo all the time. When MJF comes
I
out,
don't-
woo, boo,
That's true.
boo,
I
I don't
don't.
like you.
I can't wait till like Phil comes out and I'm there. Oh, you're gonna hear the loudest damn boo.
I believe you.
Mm-hmm.
All right, well,
Yeah.
But yeah, I didn't like anything on this promo. I'm gonna be honest. It didn't interest me at all, and I just thought, oh great, here we go, deeper into the fucking mud. It was how
Yeah,
it
2.0.
all right.
Yeah,
So
they
what did
bother
you
me
like?
anyway.
was. There anything you got on the promo at all?
Jericho looked good in his purple outfit. That's
Yeah,
about
He's
it.
in good shape. He's in good shape.
Good in shape. Yeah, my mom was like, he looks old. I was
Jesus.
watching it.
Oh my God.
Isn't he old? I'm like,
Oh,
like a troll. Yeah.
God.
Let's see. Well, it does bring us to the main event. The main event! Dude, Justin Roberts is such fucking trash. I'll be honest.
Okay.
This match, I'm watching it and enjoying it. And a couple things occurred to me during the intro. Justin Roberts is fucking garbage.
What
And
did he do?
He's just awful at introducing people.
Okay.
He's putting himself over all the time. He's like basically talking for himself. And it's so stupid. And then during the match, Tony Schiavone on commentary, because I turned the commentary up for this match, he is remarkably pointless. He said so many things completely out of nowhere that I was like, does he understand commentary is meant to provide story context?
Oh no, they don't. I mean, no.
Like, that's the idea. They're supposed to tell the story. And he was just saying a bunch of random shit that had nothing to do with almost anything. And he goes, that makes me think of this other thing from a time. Okay. So?
They do what they want. It's like the refs, right?
It was crazy. I didn't like any of the ref spots in this. And I think Thunder Rosa did the absolute best she could, given all the circumstances that was in front of her. I'm happy that Thunder Rosa won.
Finally.
She deserves that title, and I felt like this match was more evident than ever. Thunder Rosa is the best single women's wrestler they have in so many ways. And I think that it is long overdue. I think this is one of those things, too, where the moment's bigger than the match. I think watching this, I kept thinking, God, Britt needs work. And I kept watching it going like, fuck, Thunder Rosa should have been on top for over a year.
Yeah, I mean, Britt's been in that position for how long? Like, you've had your time, man.
And she's just not gotten to a level where...
She's not elevated women's wrestling. Not
I
at all.
loved the intro, though. The all-women mariachi band. Absolutely
Yeah,
loved
that was
it.
awesome.
I was like, fuck yes. At least she got to do the intro she wanted. Her gear was on point, as usual. Like, I loved it. I love that intro so much. And I was just like, man, totally for the culture, for La Raza. Like, I loved it. Loved it.
There's a reason why she's La Mera. La Mera.
La
You
Mera.
know,
Yeah.
I mean, I just like, it was amazing. And of course, we're like, when you get an entrance like that, there's no way you can't win, to be honest. Like, I was thinking that in my head, but then I'm like, oh, this is freaking Britt Baker, and Tony loves the shit out of Britt Baker. So watch, there's anything he can do to screw, no. No. I mean, I don't think people, like, in the last couple of months have been really like, Britt Baker, you can mask a lot of the things that she does. She masks it, so you're like, okay, she's kind of decent. But no, the cage match really brought out that, oh, you kind of suck. Yeah.
I think it's going to be an awesome moment to show back stuff. What'd you think about? I mean, I know you really enjoyed the mariachis. I know, but you enjoyed that entrance.
Yeah.
I felt like that. I was happy with it. I mean, apart from the idea that we just I get bombarded with mariachis here in Tucson, and I think it's really annoying when I'm trying to eat, but it's still get it.
That's the only place you go that you see them. Okay.
Yeah, and it annoys me because I wish that it would happen when I'm not eating.
All right. Well.
But
do they do it in your ear?
You used to in downtown. I mean.
Yeah.
Where I came from in California, like.
Yeah.
You used to go to the downtown area and you'd see. Yeah.
Oh yeah. No, you'll like be eating. They'll come up to your table and play like right up in your ear, and they'll be like, "So, you want to tip us? Give the lady a flower." And I was like, I really wanted to fucking finish my enchilada. Is what I wanted. But.
All right. So.
But I wondered, like, I was really happy it didn't get criticism. Is I think what I'm saying, because I felt like if the WWE did something like that, people would have said it was super insensitive. But I'm happy that they're at least in an atmosphere where people allowed it to be what it was meant to be.
I mean, I feel like it's because everyone maybe can recognize that this is what she put forth. Like, she requested this. She did her gear like it's not like there's some mastermind clearly who's telling or directing everyone as to what to do. So in that sense, like, it does seem like she got the freedom to do what she wanted.
Yeah. And not only that, but there's two other things to take away from it. One, it was an all women's mariachi.
Yep.
So that made it even more powerful as an entrance. And two, if it was in any other city, not like something in Texas where, there's, Mexican people, any other state would have been awkward. Yeah. Like, it would be okay in Arizona and California, Texas, obviously, but if it was in New Jersey, oh no, that'd be weird. Like, where the hell did they get all the Mexicans to do that? That would be my first question. Because you don't see them that much up there. Chicago, same thing. They have the worst Mexican food on the planet. Like, where would they find Mexican?
I wonder if she knew the band. I wouldn't be shocked if it turns out she knows the band.
I know she threw them in the tweet.
Did she?
Yeah.
So I bet she knows them. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure she scouted that out, because she's an ultimate professional. So, I really think so. But I think that's where that would happen. I also think that Legato would also, if they had a mariachi, opening it, that would be okay. Rey Mysterio, same thing. Yep. And Dominic, same thing. I mean, I think...
Well, because I say that because when Santos Escobar came out in a mariachi thing, people said it was really insensitive and they didn't like it. And we had to defend them on here about how it was definitely their decision.
That's ridiculous.
And how much we liked it. But a lot of people were going like, oh, leave it to WWE to do something so fucking racist. And it's like, no, it's not racist. It's like a celebration.
No. Like, it's not if it's your... If we're... If they're showing their actual culture and they want to show it that way, like... Escobar, I absolutely love his gear. Sorry, not to get off.
100%.
But like same 100%. Thing. Thunder Rosa, love her gear. I love that she got it how she wanted it.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. And she did the full face, and not just the half. And I thought that was great. I mean, we all knew it was going to come off anyway, but just because of the type of match. But I mean, it didn't disappoint. I'm really glad that other people did not come and interfere. I'm glad. We didn't see any of those chicks, which was great. So, yeah.
Yeah, so, I mean.
But, I don't know. I think
the only other time she did full face paint was when she won the NWA title, if I remember correctly. But let's see.
I believe you're right.
Real quick. Do you think Thunder Rosa has to play down the... Grim Reaper's asking, do you think Thunder Rosa has to play down to the entire AEW roster? Yes. 100% of Serena Deeb. I don't think anybody is close to Thunder Rosa's level, and I think it shows. And I don't think that...
Maybe Sheeta, to a certain extent. Maybe.
Let's see. Splinter Fox says, I gotta say, Thunder Rosa needs to stop doing the Thunder Driver. She is too small to deliver anymore. Do something different. I will agree that the Thunder Driver, I don't like it because as she's picking the person up, they have to then move their lower torso in a way that's not natural and wrap their legs around her head. So it comes off as really cooperative. So I agree with that. I'd like to see her do a different finish maneuver as well, just because of that aspect of it. Every time she picked up Britt for it, you could see Britt like twist her hips weird and wrap her legs around a certain way, and it just doesn't look natural. And maybe it's just how Britt does it, but it didn't look natural at all. Spinner Fox says, that face paint got me thinking, what if at the end of Rosa's title run she becomes heel with the full face paint and uses a green mist? That would be fire, but I don't think people... I agree, I don't think people will boo her either way. I don't think I need her to mist. I think I'm fine without the mist.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts?
She doesn't
Mist?
need a gimmick like that. No.
Just in Time says, now you can see why I call Britt inconsistent. She'll actually have one good match and then way too many bad after. I've said that for a while. I don't think it's that she's inconsistent. I think it's that she's just not very skilled. And I think that if she's in the ring with someone who can work for her, that she has a good match. Yeah. I think then when she's required to do the work because she's the vet, she can't handle it. She doesn't know how to do it. And that's what I mean. Like, she needs a lot of work.
That's lazy.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what I would call it. But
I think it's ego.
Oh.
I think she thinks she's better than she is.
That's, I mean, if you're not doing the work, that's lazy to me.
Yeah. I'd blame the owner, but anyway.
Yep. Lunar wants me to roll my R's. Not happening. Spinnerfox says, I think that they should have the AC/DC Thunder song, Pay the Money, Con Man. I think she actually requested that, and they didn't do it. So,
yeah, she did request that. Yeah. But she got a mariachi, though.
And I don't need that shit. I'm going to be honest. I don't like music. I don't like Wild Thing being used. I hate when they use the Pixies. 100% of the time that music plays and it's something I would hear on the radio, and a wrestler comes out, I go, fuck off.
Yeah, it's
just Bush League.
It makes me not like the song anymore, honestly.
Yeah. It'll
I'm
ruin
like,
the song.
I'm like, damn, you killed Pixies for me, I guess.
Yeah. I don't
Who
like
gets the
it
Pixies?
at all.
What? Orange Cassidy uses Pixies.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
Yeah.
Right.
I don't like it at all. I don't like it ever because I think that it cheapens your value. You aren't good enough to have your own song.
Yeah.
But it doesn't cheapen like Imperium and Walter.
Maybe it's because it's instrumental and there's no singing.
I think also because of how much it works with their gimmick as being a traditional classic thing and having classical music bring them in.
Yeah.
But Janela and Protovision, I'm sorry, that's another instrumental. I mean, that was better than whatever was coming out to at AEW. I mean, like, and he even said, Tony, why can't you buy that for me? Because I'm pretty sure it would go for not that much. But, like, that's, like, for me, it's synonymous with, like, Janela. But, you know, hey. But if you're going to buy, I just thought it was very interesting that he bought the Baltimore song for Jungle Boy. Because he was only really doing that on the indies when he started with PWG. That's how that started. Gotcha. So, yeah. So I'm thinking Tony's like, man, that's cool. Like, that crowd really... Like, don't judge a crowd because PWG loves something. There's a lot of things that PWG fans love that's really awful. Yeah. Chuck Taylor. Yeah, say more. Sorry.
Yeah. Spinner Fox says New Mexico would have been crazy, but Tony won't go there. He goes, I have to say, you can see who will be the one to take the title off Thunder. I hope long way down the road, Chris Statlander will be the heel to take it. I could see that.
Jamie Hayter.
I honestly wouldn't be shocked if they gave it to Jade Cargill and she was the first double champ for AEW. That wouldn't shock me.
But
I think it'd be the wrong move, but I wouldn't be shocked.
Yeah. Thunder gets both.
Oh.
Is the one to finally beat Jade. You know?
But Thunder lost to Jade on the way to her title.
Yeah. But that's okay. You can have a loss here and there. You don't have to be undefeated, like, you know, whatever.
That's true. Kiro says, Golden Rule the Internet of Wrestling. It's only wrong if WWE does it. 100%. Spinner Fox says, I would love if there was a part if Britt's thugs would have come out but been cut off at the entrance by some Mission Pro ladies for talking all that shit about Mission Pro. That'd have been cool if they came out to try and do something and all those women like jumped the rail or something and try to do like sort of a mini invasion thing. That'd have been really good, actually. I like that. Spin Fox says Britt needs to learn from Regal. Yeah, she needs to learn from a lot of people.
She needs to get big slapped by Regal.
Yeah, get that old slap. Spin Fox says I had Britt be off TV for like 6 months and come back and help Thunder or somebody and become a face after learning from Regal. Yeah, I'm down with all that. And Carol saying even our audio's cutting off now, and now I'm starting to get notifications and such. So I tried to cool down the computer, but it doesn't seem to be working. I don't know what's going on here.
You know, it'd be what would serve Britt Baker the best right now is just be a valet to your old man. Okay, come out with him. Do that dramatic thing that Ty Conti did with Sammy. Do that kind of stuff because you're not needed right now.
Yeah.
Fix some teeth, you know.
Yeah, I'd give her some stuff. I'd give her some time off. Bob Drunkle's in the chat. Hello, folks. Cheers to Bob. Yeah, my thing's going all over the place. This worked last time I did it.
Oh.
It's not even feeling overheated is the problem.
I feel like it's... Yes, it is on. That's why I'm freezing. I feel like it's a Twitch. It's a weird Twitch thing that's happening. I don't know if we should exit and join up again, but
I don't have a big problem with that. You want to wrap up AEW and then we'll come back in a couple minutes for NXT?
Yeah, we'll take a brief intermission. So Thunder Rosa.
Yeah, so I mean, obviously, congratulations, Thunder Rosa. It was fantastic, amazing. She deserves to be their champion and should have been all along. I'm happy with this. There were little bits here and there that I was kind of like, is what it is. But I think that I think that Britt is difficult to work with, just given the look of it. But I think Thunder Rosa did an awesome job. I do want to see a new finish for Thunder, something cool. I don't know. But I love it, man. I love Thunder Rosa as the champion. Absolutely. Bob Drunkle says hello from Ireland. Cheers, man.
Oh, cheers, mate.
Sir Fox says I hate double champions. I can go either way with it. I don't need it. I don't hate it. It just depends if the story's right. I just have a feeling they're going to do something like that. I feel like that with like a Jade, they're going to do a double champion thing. Any other things you want to say about the Thunder Rosa?
I just want to say again, congratulations. Obviously, quasi friend of the show. Definitely she's a friend of the show. God damn it. But yes, I'm really excited about it. Was a cage match necessarily the best way to do it? No. The only reason why is because I don't think Britt Baker's good enough to do that. And it's evident that she was very uncomfortable in there, I thought.
I think, well, for one, I thought Britt Baker looked stupid immediately because she kept trying to escape the ring. And then they even said, well, she can't win that way. I was like, okay, well, then why would the champion not know the rules to the match? But, secondly, I felt like the problem wasn't the cage. The problem was commentary not explaining why the cage was so important. Because someone else was breaking it down to me not that long ago that the reason they went straight to cage was because of all the interference in the match at Revolution. But when they announced the cage, they didn't say any of that. They didn't explain any of that. They just said, here's a cage match to be on the 1-year anniversary from the unsanctioned match. And I think that they did a disservice by not allowing that story to be told a little more clearly. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. I think AEW does a really bad job of long-term storylines because you have it and then it drops off a cliff and you're like, what the hell happened? And this is not the only occurrence. I mean, it happens quite often, I think.
Yeah. Well, I think that I think that the storyline was probably written there. I think the commentary didn't help us get there. You know what I mean? And I think I think it was a fault there.
Well, part of it is usually toward the end of the night, JR usually is snippy JR, best JR. Shivani just is like, shut up. I'd rather hear the condescending things of Excalibur rather than Shivani.
Yeah.
But there's just, yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Anything else in AEW? You ready to take a quick intermission? Come back for NXT.
Yeah. Let's take a quick intermission.
All right, we're gonna be back.
NXT is fun.
NXT was fucking good this week.
Yeah.
So we're gonna come back. We're gonna talk about NXT. We're gonna do a quick reboot of everything. So we'll be back in probably about 5-6 minutes or so. I would say 10 tops. So guys, come back for last call. It's gonna be here in just a few bit.